Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good afternoon. Hey JBL, welcome. Everybody else. Alright guys, I know it's been a little bit since my last stream. I did talk about it briefly. Not really briefly, but I talked about it during a stream maybe about, what has it been, 2 weeks? Somewhere around there. And I was kind of thinking like, man, I haven't streamed in a little while. So I figured I would just do a stream and just kind of talk to whoever is still chilling and still around, waiting for, whatever it is I'm doing. Okay, so current plans as far as streaming goes. Right now, Mistfall Hunters beta starts on June 14th. So we have about 6 days until my streaming is going to become more consistent. That beta should be for about a week or so, is my understanding. And then Mistfall full launches on July, I think it's July 29th. So right now, I think it's no secret. None of you are sitting here. None of you are going to be surprised to hear me say this. Very clearly, my interest in Dark and Darker has dwindled. Not because I think Dark and Darker is a bad game. I think it's just that I've played the game so much, and I think I've done everything that Dark and Darker kind of has to offer for me personally. And that's really like the big reason I haven't really been streaming. So yeah, that's currently the plans. I was able to play both Mistfall and Hunger off stream. I'm not allowed to stream them, but I do have access to them. And from what I can tell, both of them seem like, I would say, fairly good games. Nothing that I can really complain about from what I've seen so far. So I am definitely looking forward to playing those when they do release. And honestly, it's part of why I've been a little bit honestly, yeah, seeing Hunger, Dark and Dark, I'm sorry, I can't talk. Seeing both Hunger, Mistfall, you know what, and Naquan, Last Paradise, kind of seeing those 3 games in production and being able to play them, play their betas and all that stuff. Or I don't even know if you can call it a beta, whatever that early access version I have access to. Being able to like play and test out like what those developers are all cooking up have given me a lot of optimism for the future of Dark and Darker, or like, no, I'm sorry, the future of the genre of Dark and Darker, right? Because Dark and Darker has been it has been the sole, or pretty much the sole game in this genre. They've been leading the charge for years now. We've had some games obviously try to compete. I've kind of dwelled into them, of course. We had Dungeonborn, which was probably the most successful, not successful game that released. Like, it was good, and it definitely got some players, but it also died very fast and did very bad. Of course, we had other games too that tried to do something, but it never really like hit it off, or never really got super popular. We had games like Legacy, Steel, and Sorcery just kind of like come and go pretty quick. Never really got a huge population or anything, which never surprised me too much. We had games like, I mean, God, Dungeon Stalkers, The Cube, all these other stupid games that have been releasing. That I'm definitely not too sad or surprised that they're gone. So yeah, that's kind of like the general like thoughts of what I've had in terms of what we're gonna be seeing slash doing for the foreseeable future. Kind of like downtime right now as far as streams go, but that is primarily and videos too, and that really all kind of goes together into I'm just waiting for these other games to release because I'm kind of I think I'm kind of ready to move on with my channel. Like, pretty much move forward. So, yeah. Those are kind of my current thoughts and, kind of what I'm waiting for. So that said, as far as, near future, distant future, Mistfall Hunter beta is like the near future, which is June 14th. Then we're gonna have the Hunger playtest. I don't know if we haven't gotten a date yet, so I'm not sure when it's gonna release exactly. I would love to see it released before Mistfall's open beta, or before their release, just so I can show you guys what that game looks like. But you know, regardless of what happens, that's kind of like my immediate. And then when Mistfall Hunter full releases, as long as the game releases well, I'm planning to play that. But my plan is not to just play only Mistfall Hunter on my channel. I think I've made it, you know, pretty clear before. I don't really ever want to become like a one game channel. Like Dungeonborn, I think I like really played quite a lot of specifically. And if Mistfall Hunter somehow hooks me like crazy, I guess it's possible. But I think I really am planning to play like all of the games that I'm looking forward to. I don't want to just like play Mistfall and then only play Mistfall and ignore the other games, because I definitely want to like try all of them. So yeah. Also, hey Amorous, and hey Sandia, welcome. Yeah, actually I haven't played any Dark and Darker in 10 days. I don't even know. It's been a little bit. Probably gonna be super rusty, to be honest. Yeah, you know, honestly, I think what bothers me the most about Dark and Darker, and why I've like really dwindled off of this game, is the insane lack of optimization and quality of life features that we were supposed to get, and you know, we are still waiting for, you know, years later. I think stuff like that has been like very neglected. Seeing that kind of stuff in new games that are coming, that aren't even released yet, that are not in Dark and Darker, definitely, you know, makes me a little bit, you know, hesitant. Yeah. If he missed that, like, he's probably just dead. See, Wizard hasn't changed at all since I left. Okay. I also see players haven't changed either. That fighter was like just kind of passive in a way. Same old, really. Doesn't surprise me. I wonder what it's gonna... I'm very, very curious how these new extraction games are going to handle, you know, a multitude of things, like match queuing, gear-based versus skill-based play. Like, are they gonna, you know, I can't talk. Are they gonna be more influenced based on, like, the gear people are wearing? Is it gonna be any kind of skill-based stuff? I've seen talks of Mistfall Hunter actually having both skill-based and gear-based matchmaking, which is interesting. I'm curious if that even works out in a gear-based game. But then you're gonna have games like Hunger, which, if you decide to just play, you know, if you just kind of play casually, like, the gear doesn't make that much of a difference in Hunger compared to, like, Dark and Darker. So you're gonna have some, like, alternative options as well, with the kind of like Arc Raiders-esque of, like, you know, the weapons, like, the gear, weapons and stuff matters, but, like, maybe not that much, you know? Hey, Witchy. Welcome. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Oh, I did not mean to stand up. Hey, Terrells. Welcome. How you doing, man? Yeah, doing just a little short stream tonight. I'm not gonna be back streaming until like next week. It's gonna be June 14th, like sometime at night. I'm not gonna be back to streaming like, you know, consistently until Mistfall releases. So I don't know, I just kind of figured I'd do a little stream and just kind of say hi, you know? Say hi, say what's up, see what y'all are up to, that kind of deal. Hey, Blifford, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Okay. What a bold fighter. Just W-king a wizard like he doesn't even care. He had a will cloak. I wonder if he had magic resistance gear. That dude ate more hits than he should as a fighter. Like, PDR fighters should never be surviving a fireball direct and 2 staff hits. That guy's probably running some kind of like weird MR kit or something. I'm guessing at least. Maybe not, but definitely felt like he was wearing something super funny. If you're watching Mistfall, don't worry. What I said about hunger piqued your interest. Man, Thrells, hunger is great, man. If I could stream Mistfall or hunger, like the early, you know, like the things I have access to, I totally would. Also, I was right. He is running like a really weird magic resistance like pieces, but it's just not like gear. Like Barbutua, Dark Plate, Splendid Cloak, and Dashing Boots. So he probably has like 30, he probably has like 40 or 30 MDR or something, which is pretty funny. He actually he ate more hits than a geared fighter would, just because of these like MR pieces. No wonder he was so confident the W key me. Makes sense. Do you know what else too, man? I don't know about you fellas, but solo high roller in this game is kind of cooked, man. I'm personally like, I think I am like semi-permanently done with high roller in this game as far as solos go. The amount of imbalance that is currently in this game for solo HR that that's had so many chances to improve and just hasn't, it's just too much for me, man. The lack of rogue changes is just too much. I can't deal with another season of invis rogue sitting in corners waiting to third party or get free kills or all that other stuff. I can't do it. It's not fun PvP. I can't bring myself to enjoy another season of that stuff. So until something else is more overpowered than rogue, or rogue gets like actually changed, like game wise it gets changed, I'm done with like HR. I actively do not enjoy it. I think it's not fun. So yeah, this isn't like a, I'm not trying to make this a complaining stream. I'm just like being honest with you guys. I personally do not plan to play any more HR on Dark and Darker for the foreseeable future until Iron Mace figures out how to properly balance the mode. Solo HR just isn't in a state that I can really, you know, play it. Hey, thank you, Murderface, for the 32-man raid. Thank you, and welcome everybody. Help me shout you out, buddy. High Roller 2. Actually, yeah, since you guys are here, what do you guys think about the current state of High Roller in solos? Because I don't know about you guys, but like legitimately, I don't think solo HR is actually fun right now. Like no joke, I actually do not think it's fun. I've tried to enjoy it this season. I really did. But it just doesn't work out for me. I've really truly tried. I gave at least I gave what I felt was a solid effort. And it just was not working for me, man. Am I rogue cyst? No, I wouldn't call me rogue cyst. I actually don't mind rogue as a class. Unless that rogue has invisibility. then I might be rogue cyst a little bit. Yeah, I guess, yeah, maybe. You'll have the idea that High Roller raises the stakes. You want more dangerous mobs or variants? Yeah, you know, welcome down Johnny Walker. That is one of the longest Twitch names I've seen, actually. That's kind of funny. Yeah, I think, so I don't know if how many of you, or if you have, like, been around at all, or a lot before. I don't recognize your name, but I'm sure I've maybe seen it around. I've played this game for about 4,000 plus hours at this point. We're getting to the 4,500s pretty soon, I'm pretty sure, if you count like the playtest days. And I think I'm just out of stuff to do in terms of like game content, because High Roller just doesn't feel like it's in a very balanced spot. So basically the current game loop is this. You go to normals, you know, you farm up gear. But in normals, you can only use up the blue. So you farm up gear, you start getting purples and legendaries, you go to High Roller. That is currently the end game of Dark and Darker, is High Roller. But then you go to solo HR and you realize that the balance is really bad. You have, you know, rogues one-shotting people, or hitting from invis, or not even just rogues, but like the entire freaking map is all just like waiting to third-party people. The bosses is just kind of also third-party haven. Like you have a few people that are willing to do bosses, but a lot of people are just kind of sitting there waiting to third-party as well, because it's very beneficial to be the one that griefs someone that does bossing, or be the one that third parties. So the whole like loop in High Roller isn't particularly great or fun because of like a lot of like layers of things, I think. So then it's like, okay, well, what is the real end game of Dark and Darker? Honestly, I would argue the real end game is probably Arena. Which is funny, because Dark and Darker was made as a, you know, it was made as an extraction game, but one of the most popular / honestly, one of the reasons a lot of people even play the game, you know, as far as building kits go and all that other stuff, they do it because of Arena, right? I personally don't like Arena, funny enough. I've played no Arena and probably almost no Arena in like a year, except for maybe like the artifact, like fun stuff. But yeah, like for the most part, I don't really enjoy Arena myself. So even though a lot of people's endgame is Arena, it's not really mine. You know, like building out like Purple Bis is kind of like what your goal is for the whole season. Squire Royale is really great, by the way. I think Squire Royale is fun. The only issue I have is, even though it's fun, it does get a little bit boring after a while, not because I think the mode is bad. I actually think it's really, I think it's one of the best modes they've added. But there's no gear progression, and, you know, part of Dark and Darker is, to me, is kind of that gear progression loop. So we're in this, like, weird spot, right? So you have normals that you can only wear up the blue. Normal balance is great, by the way. It's great. Like, PvP in any normals map is really solid. I have almost no complaints about any class imbalance as far as normals go. It's once you get into higher gear that the imbalance like really starts to shine. So you have like a few options as a player like me who has like so many hours. You can sit in normals and fight other blue geared or Timmies that are not, you know, that are like learning to play the game, which I never enjoy fighting new players. That's like not fun to me. So I like to fight other geared players in normals, but you can't really force those fights. Then you could go to high roller, but then you have the issue of like the entire mode is imbalanced for solo HR. So you have like that whole thing. Then you have arena, but I don't really like arena. So not really optimal for me. Squire Royale, which is like a fun thing to do for a few hours, but it's not really like end game activity for me personally. And you can kind of probably see the problem that I'm having right now with Dark and Darker. And it's not that I think Dark and Darker is a bad game. I just don't think there's a lot of stuff to do at the end game. And I wonder how many other people feel or understand like what I'm saying, and if you agree with what I'm, I wonder how many people agree with what I'm saying, pretty much. Yeah, but yeah, that's I know I was kind of rambling for a while, but those are kind of like been like my thoughts on Dark and Darker at the moment. Yeah, Charles, I'm very, very surprised at how long they've decided to leave Rogue in the game, like as is. It's it has been like very, very strange for sure. You watched the short where the Rogue teleported onto a Warlock, used a double strike, hit him once, and then killed him, and the Warlock had a Kuma Claw. I'm not surprised. Rogue is really deadly right now. It's really, really strong. Show seasonal rewards. Oh, Skinny Bandit. I haven't played Dark and Darker in a week and a half. I have no idea. You guys probably know at this point better than I do what's going on with Dad. I have no idea. I've been completely out of the loop on this game. I've been playing Hunger, Mistfall off stream a little bit, and that's kind of kept me busy a little bit. Also been playing some State of Decay. I don't know if you guys saw. I know it's not an extraction game, but State of Decay 3 got some new info, and oh man, I am so excited for State of Decay 3. State of Decay 3 is one of the only games that I'm seriously considering like streaming when it comes out, like as a non-extractor. I'm telling you, man, I really like that game. Or I like State of Decay, like in general. It's one of my favorite zombie games, honestly. Hey, Protheus. Welcome, welcome. You haven't been on for a while? So our hype is actually for my channel, more so than anything else. I've been kind of like MIA for a little while, waiting for June 14th. That'll be when we finally get to playtest Mistfall's open beta, which is a game I've been looking forward to for quite a while. Yeah, we're gonna be very, very busy in the coming months once all this stuff releases. Although I think State of Decay 3 is not supposed to release until I think it's 2027. So like I'm not like I'll just kind of like, you know, look at it whenever it comes out. I'm not looking into that as like a future thing or anything. You haven't done any bossing yet? Honestly, Walker, I don't really like bossing in this game. It feels too third-person party favored. I think that's mostly just because of the fact that like the game kind of promotes boss griefing more than anything else, especially in solos, where third party and invis rogues are such a commonplace. Being the sucker that bosses in a meta where everybody is already third-partying and staying invisible does not particularly seem fun to me. Also, Rangers are kind of like a whole other problem right now. I know I haven't really mentioned Rangers too much today, but I'm sure I'm sure you guys have seen clips and other stuff about Rangers. They're Yeah, you know what's funny? In High Roller, if I didn't know that Rogue was there and he was running, like, some actual gear, I would probably have died there. But I saw him, and I knew he was, like, hiding that corner, so he wasn't really a risk. But... Are there any hints I wanted to give for Mistfall? Unfortunately, Mistfall Hunter is under NDA. I can give you info on Hunger, but I cannot give you info on Mistfall Hunter, unfortunately. I can tell you that Mistfall Hunter it feels like the game has improved quite a bit, and I'm looking forward to it releasing. But as far as, like, the nitty-gritty goes, it's technically NDA, so I can't, like, speak anything of it. Yes, it's open beta. Everybody will get to play it, yeah. Which is really nice. It's gonna be open beta for Xbox, PlayStation, and Steam as well, which is what I'm hoping to be a very, like, big beta. Hi, Billy Joe. I'm sorry I was gone. I know it's been a little bit. Sorry for that. Yeah, I promise I do plan to, do way more streaming in, like, the coming, like, months and stuff. Promise. Get him into a false sense of security and then hit him with my big wooden stick, huh? It's pretty good. What game are we talking about? Mini games. Mistfall and Hunger have been, like, the main two, though, that we've been talking about. Oh, you mean for the beta? The beta, specifically, we're talking about Mistfall. That's gonna be in 6 days from now. So looking forward to that. Is Dwarf troll? Some people use Dwarf. I think it's kind of troll, but you can use it for fun if you want. I feel really rusty, by the way. Like, I don't feel like I'm playing super great, but I guess I've just played this game so long that, like, it doesn't matter. I guess, I don't know. I do feel super rusty, though. It's good to know it's improved at least. Don't say anything. Yeah. I can't say much about it. Well, I can tell you about the combat, because the combat thing was not under NDA. Like, I've known about this for a while. They're revamping the entire combat system of Mistfall Hunter. So if you were someone who didn't like the old system where your energy was, like, tied to dodging and your attacks, it felt like a really, like, annoying, like, mini game. That whole system is getting changed, which is pretty nice. And I will tell you, based on, like, what I've played so far, it seems like it's a better system, but, you know, I've only played so much, so keep in mind, like, I can't, like, give you any certainties on that, but it seems like it's, like, doing pretty well on that front. No, sorry. I'm not willing to breach an NDA. Apologies for that. Sledgehammer on the fighter? Corral, I don't know what you're talking about. Sledgehammer on the fighter? That sounds like Midnight Walkers. Because that had the sledgehammer, right? Do you just mean like the giant hammer? Wow, this is a very geared Slayer fighter. But I haven't beat this guy. Honestly, Slayer fighter is, it'd be kind of hard to beat. I would have liked to have fought this guy, honestly. A Dwarf Pavis fighter? Oh yeah, that's a way you control people in solos. You know what's funny? Dwarf Pavis fighter, you are invincible against a barbarian if you sit in a doorway. They actually can't kill you. You sit right in the door, and then you hold up your shield, and there is no physical way they can get to you, because they also can't get behind you also. You can actually put a Yeah, you can put a barb. Yeah, other classes too, by the way, not just barb. You can put other classes in a spot where you are literally invincible, which is like pretty funny. Is dwarf a viable race with longsword or sword and shield? I honestly don't know. I have basically never experimented with dwarf myself, and I also don't use longsword or sword and shield. So, viable? I have no idea. You'd have to use it for yourself. Yeah, my experience on that is extremely limited. Thoughts on Mistfall's beta and release date? Well, I'm under NDA, so I can't say anything specific about what I played. All I can tell you is that it seems like the game has improved quite a lot, and I expect the beta to be perceived generally well, at least from what I can tell. As far as the release date, July 29th, I was hoping it'd be a little bit sooner than the end of July, but still happy that we're going to have a official release in the melee extraction genre other than Dark and Darker in, 7 weeks time. That is like kind of nice. I actually don't know what Hunger's plans are as far as consoles go. I just know that I just know Mistfall is going to be on Xbox and PlayStation. I don't know about Hunger. You heard Wizard is really good with Bard and duos. Danny, are you sure? Bard? I don't think Bard is actually a great class right now, because Bard doesn't really have team buffs. So what does Bard do that Ranger doesn't in duos? Because your buffs as a Bard don't work on your teammate, so I don't really understand why you would play with a Bard and not just play with a Ranger. Ranger has to be better, right? I think, unless I'm mistaken. Like, if you look at, like, arena stats, I think it's all Rangers, not Bards, so I would assume you would bring Ranger into duos as well, I think. I mean, Danny, you should probably take my word for it, man. I promise you, Ranger is super meta right now. I mean, you should, like, take a little gander at the arena statistics and you'll, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Promise. The Ranger is, really, really good. I even misplayed against that mob and still won. Alright. Cool. GG. Wonder how much damage that explosive bottle did to him. Curious. Just ran at me. Well, what else is a cleric supposed to do? That's cleric's only play against you. Cleric is a very one-dimensional class that has no real options. Like, It's the weakness, quote unquote, of Cleric, even though I think Cleric is like stupid strong in solo, like normals. I mean, I even heavily misplayed and still won. Yeah, he's in BIS too. Well, you know what I mean. Blue, very good gear, whatever. Clearly, this guy murders players all day based on a kit like this. You can usually tell, like, how much a person usually wins their fights by the gear they're running. And this guy is clearly winning most of his fights. Yeah, I'm actually gonna go store that kit. Then I can play Cleric on my own. That's a good kit. That's like about how I would... See, I know he's a good player because that's how I would build a Cleric kit. And if I would build a kit that someone's running, then I know that means it has to, like, be a good player. As funny as that might sound, but... You know what would help Solo Arena? Oh, I got baited hard. I thought we were getting Solo Arena, and then I found out it's basically, like, trios with extra steps of being able to, like, random queue. Like, I don't want all that stuff. I just wanted Solo Arena. Although, honestly, I don't know. Maybe Solo Arena would be okay. Solo HR is really imbalanced, but Solo Arena would probably have problems, too. I don't really know. Kind of hard to say, honestly, like, what the best play is at this point. Made decent money today going Lumberjack Dwarf Farm. What are you? You're just mining logs? Oh my god. You're playing Minecraft. That's crazy. But yeah, that Cleric running at me is the only thing he can do. Cleric has no other alternative other than just W key, Unga Bunga, but to be honest, it works 9 times out of 10. But I hit him with an explosion and a fireball, so that was enough damage to, like, you know, end up killing him. And I have Melt too, which helps a lot against Cleric. Is anybody here State of Decay fan, or is that just me? Anybody else looking forward to that? They released a new trailer. I think it was earlier today, or it was very recent. First trailer I think we've gotten for that game in, like, forever. Which is pretty cool to see. Hey, Scar. 6 days for Mistfall's open beta. That will be, we'll be streaming quite a lot. At least I'm planning on it. I'm very excited for it, personally. Okay. Alright, well, that's... Okay, that was... Oh man, that was funny as shit. Okay, anyway. I'm not alone. You love zombie games yourself. You haven't played State of Decay 3 yet? Well, that's because it's not out yet. State of Decay 3 doesn't come out until 2027. So we're just in hype mode right now for that game. That was his second raid? No, that rogue had a full inventory of loot. It's probably not his second game. Probably his first week of playing, though, would be my guess. For sure. Well, think about it this way. Maybe the cleric that I killed would have killed that rogue anyway. So I saved the rogue, but then I killed him anyway. Something like that, right? Something like that. I don't know the details. Man, this cleric's kit that we took was sweaty, man. This cleric was running like full bis. Jesus, man. I wonder if it's good for Dark and Darker that a big part of the quote-unquote endgame is going in the normals with full blue gear. That's like well rolled and such. And like that's just kind of like that's kind of just all you do is like play normals with like blue bis quote-unquote. Wonder if that's like a problem for the game. I've always thought about that. Looking forward to Naquan if it ever goes to another testing phase. Yeah, I thought Naquan was pretty fun. My only issue with Naquan, honestly, was just the PvP wasn't that great, but I think that is a testament to how good the base game was. Because it's funny. Mistfall Hunter, like, as much fun as that game is, I think without PvP, that game would be dead on arrival. I just don't think the PvE is overly interesting, similar to, like, trying to say Arc Raiders would have survived if it was PvE only. I legitimately don't think it would have, like, been a thing. So, we have Naquan, which kind of does the opposite, where the PvE was genuinely pretty interesting, at least from what I saw. But the PvP was, like, pretty bad. So, if Naquan can just figure out how to make the PvP fun, they have a pretty, like, gem game on their hands, I think. By Sledgehammer, you meant the big hammer on Barb? Oh, you mean Mercenary. Yeah. Yeah, the Merc class, the hammer. I actually preferred the sword and shield gameplay over the hammer gameplay. But yeah, the Merc hammer definitely had some like pretty big gameplay potentials for sure. What's the player count? 8K. I think the player count is starting to fall again for this season, by the way. Not that that's uncharacteristic for a typical Dark and Darker season, but I do think the total count is down, I think. Actually, honestly, it's we're still doing better than last season. Because last season we peaked at 11K and then we kind of like dwindled from there. This season we peaked at 14K and we're still at 11K peak, which is almost the same as last wipe's peak, like, period. So, I mean, ultimately I would say this is still like a healthy player base. I wouldn't call Dark and Darker a growing game, but, you know, for how old it is, I feel like it's still like doing pretty decently. Like that's probably 200. That's probably top 200 Steam, which is still I would not call this a dead game or anything very clearly. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, Scar, by next season of Dark and Darker, Mistfall and Mistfall will probably have full released, and hopefully Hunger has started to have some playtests. Hunger's official release, I think the dev said it won't be for like another 5 months or so. But yeah, I don't really know if I'll be like playing much of like the future seasons. It completely depends on, you know, how fun the other games are that come out or not. I mean, if I have a choice of playing a brand new Extraction versus, you know, one that's been out for as long as Dad has, like, you know, I might. I mean, it's I know I'm probably gonna end up focusing my time on other stuff, you know. Unless the wizard changes are so spectacular that I'm like, wow, I have to go play it, you know. It'll very much depend on what's going on with Dad. We would need to see some pretty big changes, you know, to like, we would, yeah, I don't know what else to say. We would need some really big changes for me to like come back. Make solo Spell Cleric good again, and I'll consider it for sure. No cap. I will actually like come back if they make solo Spell Cleric not trash. Hunt Showdown didn't field Dad, and it consistently holds 15 to 20k for several years. Yeah, Hunt Showdown, I think, is still doing pretty well as far as I'm aware. Hunger, I think, is going to feel kind of like Hunt Showdown, but it's going to be more focused around looting. But I don't know if that's even really true. I didn't play a lot of Hunt Showdown, so I can't really compare the games. I just know that Hunger felt very, very fun to me. I honestly wish I could show you guys Hunger. I wish I could just hop on and show you guys a game with the creator build that I have, but I'm not allowed to. But I totally would if I could, because I don't think you guys would be disappointed. Yeah, whenever that becomes playable, I will be doing that for sure. Hunt Showdown really isn't a looting game. Yeah, as far as I know, yeah, you're right. Hunt Showdown is not like for looting at all. So when I'm playing normal, is it slated to wipe? What do you mean? I don't know if I understand your question. If you're asking why I'm not in High Roller, it's because I don't think solo HR is fun right now in Dark and Darker. Between rogue invisibility and the atrocious way that people play with third partying and shit, it's just not fun. So, not really interested, to be honest. Normal's PvP is far better. Also, I don't really play Dark and Darker very much at the moment, so I'm not really interested in playing HR, which I don't enjoy playing for the very little bit that I do play this game. I mean, you say late and white, but I haven't played this game in a week and a half, so, you know. Yeah, if they make solo Spell Cleric legitimately viable again, I will totally, like, want to play this game more. I still, like, I miss solo Cleric being strong, man. I really do. Been waiting. Waiting and waiting and waiting. How far are we into wipe? That is a good question, actually. I don't know. How far are we into wipe? A month and a half? Maybe? I feel like it's a month and a half. Something like that, if I had to guesstimate. Somewhere on that. What am I playing now? I've been playing a little bit of Hunger and Mistfall off stream. Since I'm not allowed to stream it, I've been kind of just delving into that and seeing like how those games are. Outside of that, I've been playing some State of Decay 2. Kind of hyped for State of Decay 3. So I've been playing that. It's been pretty fun. Playing a bit of Pokemon Fire Red as well, which was pretty fun. Actually, never played Fire Red, which is pretty funny. I owned it, but I don't remember ever playing it when I was a kid, because I just played nothing but Ruby. So I wanted to finally give it a go, see what it was, and all that fun stuff. Oh. mess with that big giant. This wizard's actually kind of sweaty, to be honest. Damn. Bro is greedy. He really tried to campfire there? That is such a big wizard L. Oh my god. He's not even geared, honestly. That guy was just hitting his shots, I guess. Yeah, him trying to campfire is insane. You can't campfire as a wizard. It's not a thing. That poor guy. That dude was cooking, though. For sure. Have I ever tried Nuzlocke? No, I've never done that. What got nerfed with Quirk that made you stop playing? There is no one individual nerf. Quirk got nerfed probably 20 times over the course of like a year or two, to the point where I stopped playing it because it wasn't fun anymore. Yeah, that wizard trying to reset with a campfire during PvP is like crazy. That was definitely not the play. Rogue meta skills and ability. I think rogues are using Dual Strike and Invis or Phantom Strike. Some kind of combination of those. Dual Strike is almost one-shotting people. Sometimes it actually is one-shotting. And then Invis is just, you know, as it's always been, pretty much. Although Phantom Strike, I believe, is pretty decent as well. Hey, Ghost. Mistfall's open beta is in 6 days, so I'm pretty hyped for that. Yeah, my streams will be more consistent in 6 days time. Videos as well, since I've been I haven't really been doing like any videos on YouTube or anything. So my plan is to, you know, post some content on that beta when it comes. Probably do like class guides and all that stuff, kind of like I did for the other beta. Oh, this is stupid. I can't actually fight him without aggroing the other... I don't want to aggro those statues. Waste of time. Actually, I wonder if this... Maybe this... Yeah, I don't want to aggro those. I'll go around. We've been waiting for wands for wizard for 3 years. I don't know if that's ever coming. I heard someone say that Mistfall's beta is going to be about a week, but I don't have confirmation on that, so don't, you know, hold me to it. Don't form a pitchfork mob if I'm wrong, but I heard about a week, so something like that. Yeah, once Mistfall, Hunger, and/or Naquan comes out, I will be streaming significantly more than I am right now. I'm hoping to actually go back to doing like daily or mostly daily streams and, you know, at least like a few videos a week once those games comes out. Surprised none of this, like, someone ran through it, aggroed everything, and didn't clear it. I feel like that's a very common thing in normals and high roller. People just don't clear shit. It's more annoying in high roller, but it's annoying in normals too. People just run past everything and don't do anything with it. I don't know, I find it like very obnoxious. I feel like I usually clear everything because I don't like mobs in fights. If I'm fighting someone, I do not want mobs nearby, and it seems like people don't agree with that. They just aggro everything. Like this skeleton here clearly has been aggroed, and someone just aggroed it and ran away. You know, shit like that is like just annoying. You miss we stream both? I haven't streamed Hunger because that hasn't been streamable yet. It's under NDA. Mistfall Hunter I did stream, but it's been, God, over 6 months now. A while. Mistfall 15th of June. No, it's the 14th of June. Like sometime late at night EST. I think it's like 8 PM EST or something. I have to double check, but I'll be live like that night when it releases. That's the plan. Yeah, my plan is to play every single class on stream, or at least most of them that I can get to. Get through like the tutorial or whatever things they have. You know, just get through like all the content that they have to offer. PvE clearing is boring. Oh, I agree with you, to be honest, but I mean, everything dies in 2 hits anyway, so I just clear it because I don't want to deal with it later. But I understand why people do it. It's just annoying. Although in high roller, like, I don't want to deal with HR mobs. They're annoying, so I don't blame people. There's not enough incentive in Dark and Darker to like really kill and clear mobs. So it's kind of a self-inflicted problem of the mobs don't really feel like they're worth clearing, especially once you're in endgame stuff, you know. You know what the most exciting thing that Mistfall said, or not Mistfall, sorry, that Hunger, the developer, said to me? I was in a Discord call with the dev, and he answered like a bunch of my questions. I asked him, they're planning to add like a full guild feature or guild function to that game, where like, you know, you get together with your guild and you do like endgame activities. I don't know to the extent of what their plans are. It might not even be in at launch, but in the long term, and I think the guilds will be at launch, but the activities might, you know, be created over time. But just like the fact that they're gonna even have guilds and we're still waiting for that in Dark and Darker 3 years later, I think is hilarious for a game that's not even released yet. Yeah, I asked them if they'll ever do raids. You know, like, use like World of Warcraft as an example. The developer said, he said, I'm not saying we will, but I don't see why we wouldn't. So they want to do some kind of actual PvE, like endgame guild activity. That's what they want to do at least. And if they manage to pull that off, that would actually be insane. Like, that would actually be so cool. If they manage to do that, because Dark and Darker has 0 endgame. A lot of these games they suffer from a lack of endgame activity. So if Hunger ends up being the first one to have legitimate endgame stuff, that would be pretty sick. Fighting gear people in normals. Yeah, I mean, I just killed a full Bist out cleric like 15 minutes ago. Also, hi Lich. No, you did not miss me watching the trailer on stream. I actually didn't watch it. I was more talking about like dates and all that stuff. Actually, I think I think big team fights are going to be a thing in Hunger. I think that's actually planned, although I don't know for sure. I think like bigger fights are going to be a thing. But they would be like objective based. You know, maybe like maybe capture the flag or some shit. I don't really know, but I think there is PvP stuff planned that is like objective focused, not just like, you know, 1v1 arenas or whatever. Which I think would be kind of cool to see. Because Hunger doesn't really seem like the kind of game that's made for a 1v1 arena, so I think it would fit the game better. Is Wigger worth anything, though? I mean... I would say it is. I guess it depends on how rich you are. Did I play the updated client for testing? The updated client? Wait, I don't understand. Did they update the client again, Lich, or am I tripping? I haven't played Mistfall in like 2 days or 3 days. I don't know. I didn't know they updated the client again. I actually thought the playtest ended. Is it still going? I haven't really been like around the Mistfall. I don't know. I played it on like that first day or two, and then I stopped because I thought it closed. I haven't really like been in the Discord or anything. The client I was playing was from April. Oh, really? Oh, okay. So I was playing like the outdated one. Oh, okay. I actually did not realize it was that far away, or like that far back. Actually, I probably should hop on and check out that new updated client. Wait, why am I killing them? I don't even. Oh my god. Well, this skeleton is never going to die for the rest of the game. I can tell you that for sure. Why kill the mobs when you can just run around them? Yeah, it's easier just to ignore mobs. This isn't the right idea. That's not the play. Alright. Oh, the beta test is until the 14th? Oh, okay. I actually didn't realize they extended it that long. Well, that's kind of cool. Is it a big difference, Lich, between the April version and the now version? Like, is it very noticeable from what you've played? I guess I'll have to see it for myself. I didn't play like a huge amount though, so I don't know how much I would notice really. Well, not really 2-tap. I hit him with like 3 or 4 spells. So, kind of 2-tap plus a bunch of support spells, I guess. I think the idea of doing endgame raiding content in an extraction game, like, actually sounds kind of cool. You know, like, you spend your time doing, like, the extraction loop, and then when you're at the point of, like, full endgame stuff, then you can do, like, you know, endgame challenges to kind of test yourself and bring your guild with. Like, imagine in Dark and Darker if you could, like, go in, like, actually go as a guild into a, like, into, like, a raid similar to that of, like, a WoW raid. I think that would actually be cool. I would do it. Would give you something to do at endgame other than run around with, you know, no intention other than PvP, because that is Dark and Darker's only endgame content is, you know, killing players pretty much. Unless you like just kind of solo farming, or, you know, just like killing a boss, I guess, but I don't really feel like doesn't really feel like endgame content to me, just because it's, I don't know, just kind of whatever. You don't know why Marathon didn't do that? What I'm describing is Destiny, kinda, but even the devs that made that didn't make raids. Yeah, I know Destiny had some kind of thing like raids. Which is why I'm saying, yeah, I'm surprised that for whatever reason, we don't have any extractions that have delved into legitimate endgame content. Because that's always, like, the problem of the loop, right? The extraction game loop. You started the season, and it's like, it's your highest player population. Then people play, slowly the population decreases over time. It happens every season. Then a smaller amount of people come to the next wipe, and then it, like, slowly divots downwards. And that's just how the extractions go. And I think the problem is that once people reach a certain point in the game, there's nothing left for them to do. There's no end game content to, like, bother trying. So imagine if you had an extraction game, but you had an entire system set up to have legitimate end game content. Like, that would actually be so cool, I think. How do I think a real endgame should be implemented in Dark and Darker? I mean, I would do it just like I was describing that, like, Hunger might do it. I would have guilds in Dark and Darker with a guild bank, just like WoW has, where, you know, as a guild, you store gear and consumables and all that stuff, and you prepare for raids. And I would have the raids be instance-based, so I would make the raids PvE focused, not PvP, but I would make them very hard, like legitimately hard raids for like a group to, like, encounter, you know, to overcome. So instead of, like, the whole wipe just being basically infinite gold simulator of no real endgame, you're using your gold with a purpose of, like, beating whatever endgame content is there with your guild. I would do something like that, and I think that would be way better, because we already have PvP endgame content, quote unquote. We already have arena. We don't need more PvP. Like, that's what we need, and I don't think we'll ever get it. But, like, something like that would hook me immensely. If I had a legitimate goal, like, if I had a guild in this game and I could, like, have all of you guys in with me, and then we could go and do, like, really hard dungeons, challenges, bosses as a group together, like, that would be very cool, I think. Hey, thank you, C-Jack, for the 9-month resub. Appreciate that, man. Thank you, thank you. That was a long time. Appreciate it. Well, you know, that is exactly the problem of Dark and Darker. Dark and Darker has no real endgame. The endgame is the gear. Like, when you start a season of Dark and Darker, ultimately, like, what is your goal? Your goal is just to keep farming more gear unless you play arena. If you play Arena, then your goal is to farm Purple Bis, and then you never have to play, like, the extraction mode again, because you're an Arena player. But, you know, for players that don't play Arena, like, what are you doing every season? You're just farming more gold. More gold, more gear. There's no activity that you're going for at the end of the season. Unless you count, like, the gold sinks with, like, religion and stuff, which, I'm gonna be real, like, this is... I would not consider this, like, endgame content. This is, like, very weak in terms of, like... It's not interactive at all. It's just, like, here's some gold, right? But yeah, I mean, actually doing dungeon raids, challenges with a group of people, like, that sounds like very cool stuff to me. Frost Wyvern was designed to be beaten in a raid. Well, yeah, but but Dark and Darker, Iron Mace did not design it well at all. They didn't design it where you can go in as a guild. They made it in the game so it's still PvP griefable, and you also can't go in with more than, like, you know, your team of 3. So, like, yes, it was originally designed to be beaten as a raid, but Iron Mace doesn't know how to actually make a real raid, so it was never good to begin with, and that's why it got changed. I mean, like, in terms of a raid, in my mind, I'm thinking you go into a dungeon, you beat a bunch of different bosses, leading up to a really hard boss, and you're overcoming, like, all of those different things. Like, the Wyvern was never really, like, a raid boss, you know? Like, it's very different. Well, yeah, so that's what Hunger's, because I got some info from the devs about this. Because Hunger might do something similar to what I'm saying, although it's not guaranteed, nor is it, like, I don't even know if it'll make it in, I don't know if it'll even make its way into the game. I hope it does. But, you know, you never know with game development. But yeah, I think stuff like cosmetics would be, like, a really cool thing. Like, imagine if instead of, you know, grinding out religion gold for the umpteenth time every season for the 27th orc skin, instead we got, like, actual new skins or different things in the game that were exclusive to defeating endgame bosses with your, like, you know, with your guild. Like, that would just be so much more fun. Like, giving the religion, you know, 200,000 gold or whatever it is nowadays. Is 200,000, I think, right? 100 per seal. For, you know, another orc skin. Like, this is not fun endgame content. This is not fun. I don't care about another orc skin. Right? Sure, like, surely we're all done with orc skins. I think. Have I watched any videos on Hunger? RPG, I played Hunger. I played Hunger, like, with the developer in Discord chat with me for a couple hours and got to ask a bunch of, like, questions about their game. That's where this whole rating idea came from. It came from the developer himself, and he was talking about, like, them having, like, a guild planned and them wanting to maybe try to do endgame activities. Yeah, I'm allowed to talk about everything that I played on Hunger. I just can't show gameplay. There's a YouTube video who also talks with the devs. Oh, is there? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, honestly, I wish I recorded the like, the Q&A between me and the developer, and then I was able to take that audio and show you guys like that, but I didn't really think about it. Quest being tied into endgame you're suggesting would be way more fun. Beat the raid in 30 minutes, unlock skins through questing instead of fetch quests 24/7. Well, that's another problem too, is that having to request every season for very mediocre rewards and crafts is not really fun. I think, like, the rewards you get for turning in quests are usually not worth the materials, and the stuff you craft is also not that exciting, except for like maybe arena bis farming, and that's about it. It just gets boring, like doing 3 million quests, not really, but doing like hundreds of quests every season on a 3-month loop that gets reset for what feels like very little value, profit, whatever. It just doesn't feel fun to me. That's why I stopped doing quests. I'm sure a lot of other people have to feel the same way about quests at this point. I know I cannot be the only one here who finds questing like very dull after, you know, this many seasons of doing the same thing over and over again, you know? Do I think endgame raid should have some kind of gear check mechanic? Because if not, people would do it on the first day of wipe. Well, technically, if you want to... So, the Hunger developers seem to have a decent bit of inspiration from World of Warcraft. Like, actually, it's funny. Multiple things that I noticed in the game, I was like, huh, this kind of sounds like WoW. Like, the way they do money is... what is it? Copper, silver, gold, with the same way it goes up. And I was like, oh, that's just coincidence, right? But then I saw they were going to do professions. You know how World of Warcraft does professions? Where every character gets 2 of them, gathering or crafting professions, and you only get 2 per character. So in WoW, you either have to go to the auction house to buy stuff from other people that you need, or you have to make alts and then make all your own stuff. But then like you have exclusive stuff that only you can get with your 2 professions. Hunger's gonna have the same exact thing. Hunger's gonna have like, I don't know, I don't remember the exact professions because I didn't really mess around with them, but they're gonna have gathering and crafting professions, 2 per class, 2 per character. So a lot of the ideas that they have are actually kind of WoW-esque. So when they started talking about guilds and raids, I'm imagining that they're gonna take the idea from WoW as well. So I'm envisioning, now I could be wrong, but I'm envisioning them having like big guilds with like shared resources and a guild bank, and then you're working like, yeah, like you'll need endgame gear kind of like WoW does. You know, you can't just like go into a WoW raid with nothing. You have to work for it, you have to gear up for it, and then go in and whatever, right? Hi, Ranger. I'm alive. Yeah, I said last week that I might take a little break waiting for Mistfall. This isn't like a surprise or anything, but yeah, I am alive. I'll be streaming a lot more here pretty soon. You think if these extraction games were looked at more so as an instance-based MMO, they do a lot better? Well, I think having the extraction loop and then on the side having the PvP and the PvP and the raid game modes, I think having multiple activities to do would be really cool. You know, you go to the extraction main game mode to like, you know, play the game, level up your character, gather gear, and then you go to the other modes with the gear you've acquired. Like, I feel like that is a good loop, you know? I mean, there's a reason that World of Warcraft's, I mean, love it or hate it, you know, obviously retail has been criticized a lot, but at the end of the day, they still have a shit ton of players playing that game. You know, I think it kind of speaks for itself that, you know, some of the ideas that they have, I feel like could actually be implemented in other games. Destiny, I think, was pretty popular for a while, but I never played Destiny. I know they had some kind of raiding mechanics, but, I don't know. I think it's kind of exciting to think about an extraction game actually having a full guild like feature. I think that would actually be really cool. Hunger devs sound phenomenal. Well, it's the same developers from Hell Let Loose, if you ever played that game, and I will tell you that the developer did not shy away from any question I asked him, and I asked him like basically everything I could think of in terms of, you know, the future of the game, how the development's going. Like, I asked him like everything I could think of, and I think he had a good answer for basically all of it. So yeah, I'm definitely like looking forward to Hunger quite a lot. You love Dark and Darker, but you get bored around 1.5 months in. That is the whole reason, Coyote, that we're talking about the lack of endgame content. Also, thank you, Hugo MCs, for the sub. I do appreciate that very much. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, so that's the whole reason we've been talking about endgame content and raids. One of the big things Dark and Darker is missing is anything to do at endgame, other than, like, Arena. And that's basically it, because Squire Royale is no gear, so there's no, like, it's not really endgame, it's just kind of like a fun mode. So yeah, besides farming BIS purples, there's no real thing to do. So people get bored, you know, fairly quickly throughout the season. Like, you know, I just imagine an alternate reality where Dark and Darker had a full guild system, and you could do endgame activities with your guild, with the gear that you acquire throughout the season. Like, that, to me, sounds really cool. And I don't know if we're ever going to get that. Well, that's a problem with Dark and Darker, is that bossing is not fun because a lot of bossing is just people griefing, which is not really enjoyable for anybody. I mean, that's why World of Warcraft went for instance raids, and other MMOs that were really early on had raids in, like, the open world, where you could, like, PvP and whatever. I think instance raids are the way to go. Yeah, Hunger, they're not going to have wipes, they're going to have seasons. It seems like, my understanding is the new seasons are going to be more cosmetic tied, but the developer said he's going to look at seasons similar to that of an expansion of WoW, where they're going to introduce new weapons or gear or what have you. And, like, you'll have new stuff to grind for after seasons. And my understanding is also they don't want gear to ever be such an overwhelming advantage that you just pub stomp everybody for free. Like, in Dark and Darker, if you have, like, legendary artifact gear, you basically never die. My understanding is Hunger does not have that plan, so it's going to be a very different, like, gameplay style, I would say. Not necessarily better or worse, but I am wondering how they're going to pull that off, because I'm also of the understanding that usually wipes are good for games. So I'm very curious how Hunger is going to, like, make that work. Well, that's another thing. Yeah, well, that's something that Dark and Darker just never did well. Dark and Darker, when you get into a game, you're right. There's nothing to do except for rush the boss or rush, like, a specific unmarked room that has, like, a gold pile or something. That's something that Mistfall Hunter has actually solved, and you know that from the last time I streamed it. When you go into a Mistfall Hunter match, you actually have, like, objectives on the map. You have, like, certain areas, like, you have your boss, but then you have, like, hotspot areas of high traffic for PvP. So you kind of have, like, something to do during the match that you don't really have in Dark and Darker. So I kind of like how Mistfall Hunter does that too. Ultimately, Mistfall and Hunger are two very different games, but I think they're both going to be good in their own right, I think. Do you think Mistfall has enough hype marketing behind it? Well, it's going to be on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, and I think day one Xbox Game Pass is possible. As long as the game is good, I would like to hope that word of mouth plus the marketing they've already started doing should be enough. We're just going to have to wait and see. I hope so. For sure. Another thing is Hunger has so much progression that maybe Wipes is actually good because there's so much to do. Well, Hunger's gonna have prestigious. So you know how in, like, Call of Duty you level up from, well, I mean, I haven't played COD in like 10 years, but assuming they still do prestigious nowadays, you level up to like 60 or whatever, and then you reset your account, and then, like, you unlock new stuff and you keep going, and then you keep resetting back to level 1. Hunger's gonna have a similar thing. You're gonna go from level 1 to 100 in Hunger, and you're gonna get, like, a new talent point, like, every level, with, like, 4 different talent trees. Then you're gonna hit 100, the option to prestige, and every new season will add a new prestige, and the new prestiges will add new cosmetics and stuff to do. So you don't have to wipe, But I think when you prestige, you don't actually lose your gear, you lose your levels. And my understanding is Hunger, the levels are like a big part of the progression of that game. The loop. It's just different. I don't know how it's gonna be or not, but you know, I'm hoping it like feels good on like when I play it. I mean, the game I already thought was fun when I played. I just hope the loop feels good, you know. Mistfall, June 14th, sometime at night, EST. Like 8 p.m. or something, I don't know the exact time. Hunger's legit, Hunt Showdown, Arc Raiders, Mordau, all in the same game. That's not a bad thing, though. Having a game be a mixture of other games is definitely not a bad thing if it's done well. No bad, you've been a mod for a year and a half? That's actually kind of crazy. That's a long time. Holy. I didn't even realize it's been that long. You know what else is cool about Hunger? So, the Hunger map, you're gonna have the over map, and then every single map in Hunger is gonna have a dungeon key. And the dungeon key is gonna unlock an entire new, like, dungeon under the map, or where, or you know, just separate. It's gonna be the same map. Like, you'll still be connected, but you'll have a whole dungeon to go to if you want. So, like, there's different activities you can do in Hunger, which I think sounds pretty cool. And those dungeons will be where you get, like, you know, like, really good loot and stuff like that. Did I see engine fall? I don't know what that is. Oh wait, isn't that like is that a gun extraction game or something else? Yeah, Dark and Darker map rotations just really never worked out, unfortunately. I do wonder how Hunger will tackle that when it releases. One issue that Dark has is everyone's doing the same thing in a raid, which makes for unhealthy raids. Well, there's a reason for that. It's because Dark and Darker doesn't really have, like, endgame content, and honestly, Dark and Darker, you have, like, 3 options. You can rush PvP, rush, like, gold piles, or, like, you know, like the lion chests or whatever. I guess those are 2 separate things, but rush, like, loot, or you can rush PvP. Like, that's basically it on every map. There's not really any other, like, options you have. They never really added, like, real objectives or anything onto the map. Like, they don't, like, Mistfall Hunter has that solved by having hot spots and stuff on the map. Stuff like that doesn't exist in Dark and Darker. Dungeonborn actually added that at the end of its life cycle. And I gave a lot of praise to Dungeonborn for adding it, too. They added, like, hot zones where it would, like, change every game, and, like, you could go low risk, you know, and avoid the hot zones, or you could go high risk and, like, fight people, like, for that really good loot. I thought it was a really good loop. But that was, like, at the point where it was too little too late for Dungeonborn, and the game was already, like, toast, but the idea was there. You know, the idea was good. Mistfall looks like they're doing that, but they're just making it better, so. Yeah, Hunger's gonna be in 6 days, yeah. Yeah. Midnight Walkers is actually dead. I swear to God, that game. I don't know how that game is even still being developed. That game, every time I check, it has, like, 50 players at most. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that game is actually, like, done. Honestly, another thing in Dark and Darker, quests just are kind of boring. Like, kill Wraith. You know, request items. Request item, request item, request item, request item. Interact with Torch. Like, it's either a fetch quest or it's some really weird thing that doesn't make sense, and you just do it to, like, move on to the next quest. Like, the quests in this game just aren't fun. They're not like, they're just... There's a reason I don't do them every single wipe, and it's because they're not enjoyable. You know, like... Yeah, quests are a very weak part of this game, unfortunately. I wish it wasn't that way, but... You know, what can I do? Yeah, Mistfall's beta's in 6 weeks. It's an open beta, so everyone will be able to play. My understanding is it's gonna be about a week long, but I don't know, like, for sure. And then it'll come back July 29th, and it'll be full release. So it's hard to make quests fun, but at least make them rewarding. Well, I'll tell you what. I asked the Hunger developer this. I asked them this exact question. I said, how are you gonna make quests interesting? Because I even mentioned in Dark and Darker, I said the quests are very boring, and a lot of people just don't like them. And the guy has played Dark and Darker, and he said, yeah, our goal is to make them more interactive. So, time will tell. If Mistfall Hunter... I'm sorry, did I say Mistfall? I meant Hunger. I don't know if I might have misspoke. I talked to the Hunger developer, and the Hunger developer said that the quests are planned to be more interesting. So, you know, time will tell. We'll have to wait and see if, like, they actually pull it off or not. I take on Squire Royale. I think it's a great for fun mode. It's not really endgame content, but, like, I think the mode is... I think it's good for the game. I think it's fun. Yeah, people pretty much only do quests where they feel like the reward is so good they have to do it. People don't do quests in this game because they're enjoyable to do. That just doesn't really happen. Which is wrong. Like, you should enjoy doing quests, right? At least in theory, you should. I already answered the Squire Royale question. I just answered it like 2 minutes ago. Yeah, I think Squire Royale is very good for new players. I absolutely agree with you. Yeah, quest and extraction games are usually very bad. For the most part, I feel like they're usually just not really fun. If Hunger somehow manages to go against the grain and add meaningful, good quests, I will be surprised and very happy. I will believe it when I see it, though. Yeah, absolutely will believe it when I see it. Oh my god, yeah, that's another thing, too. The Dark and Darker doing random crafting at workshops is such a stupid thing. So, like, imagine grinding all this gold and all this other shit to make weapons, and then at the workshop you can only craft, like, a random weapon? Like, what? It makes no sense. It's so weird. It makes no sense. It's actually, like, it's so silly. Yeah, it's funny, I was so excited for the workshop feature, and then it ended up being, like, the biggest nothing burger, and it was very sad. Sucks. Yeah, sometimes I wonder if, like, in my head, I have this perfect extraction game, and in reality, we're never actually gonna get it. But I'm hoping that somehow Mistfall or Hunger creates, like, again, like, creates this theoretical perfect extraction. And I know it's probably not gonna happen, but I'm gonna hope for the best. I don't even understand the non-tradable stuff, Hugo. I talked to the Hunger developer about this as well. I asked him what his plans are for the marketplace, and the Hunger developers want the auction to be a, I think he used the words robust economy. He wants the market to be like a increment, like a very important part of the game, similar to, again, they very clearly a lot of the things that they're doing are influenced a little bit by World of Warcraft. They seem to want their auction house to be somewhat similar to WoW, since every class is going to have 2 professions. I think it's out of 9. So you're going to be missing 7 professions on your character. So, like, the auction is going to be a really big part of the game for getting stuff that you literally can't craft unless you make alternate characters or you get it from your guild and do guild trading, you know? I don't really understand, like, the want for, like, non-trading stuff. I actually think trading, marketplace, whatever, can be good for an extraction if it's done correctly, personally. Does he say WoW again? I mean, that's what the developer said. Like, that this is his words. I know I've said it a few times, but that's what he said. Like, he used WoW as his, like, descriptor. So I'm like, don't shoot the messenger, man. I'm just telling you what I was told. I can't give you an alternative because that is, like, what it is, you know? Not much I can say about it. But if you've played WoW, you know exactly what I'm talking about in terms of marketplace and professions and all that other stuff. So you know exactly, like, what they're going for. If crafting items are tradable, there's no point in crafting. Instead, you sell the mats or buy whatever you need. Well, that's not true. Not if professions are limited between characters. If you have 9 professions and you can only have 2 of them, and there's, say, 4 crafting professions that you are not able to access, well, now you have to go to the auction house to buy those items unless you want to make another character to do it. And again, that's how it works in WoW. Like, it's the same general idea. Or really any MMO, I'm sure, does the same or a similar thing. Legacy's vision? Lich, Legacy's vision was to release some of the worst updates I've ever seen a game release and then die. So, I mean, I don't know what I can say about that, Lich. Dude, those Legacy developers really dropped the ball, man. Like, they really goofed up. Oh my god. I don't even know how Legacy screwed up so bad. I don't know what happened exactly, but, like, it really went south. I mean, you might be true. Like, sure, WoW didn't invent everything, but if a game popularizes certain features, then that is the most obvious thing to kind of latch on to, you know? It's kind of how it is. Yeah, for anyone that's like me and is a fan of the extraction melee genre, our current best hope in any game other than Dad, as far as I can tell, is Hunger, Mistfall, and Naquan. Those are, like, the only 3 that I'm aware of that I've seen that have, like, any hope to really blow up. So, you know, we'll kind of have to wait and see. Yeah, I'll meet you at Goldshire, Zox. So I've heard. Can you link a Hunger video explaining the game well for people who are interested? You would have to send it to me, because if you link it, it won't let you. What is the third one? Naquan Last Paradise. I played it on my channel a few months ago. It's a zombie extraction game. Pretty fun from what I saw. Maybe not like super. I'm not as excited for Naquan as I am Mistfall and Hunger, but like it's still a game that I'll try. It's okay. RPG, ultimately, I think the info is kind of just out there. Like, I think anyone that wants to see anything on Hunger can just go to YouTube and type in Hunger. I don't really know how much I need to, like, show on stream. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Perhaps. Lich, did you just ban YOLO Rage? Oh my god. I don't even know what he said. YOLO, what did you say before you got smited? You know what's funny? I said the same thing. Naquan Last Paradise had very interesting, fun PvE, and it had some of the worst PvP like imaginable. It was like mobile game PvP, but then like the PvE was actually very fun. So if they can somehow manage to fix their PvP to not be like a literal mobile game, then it'll be pretty good. You know, we'll see. Hunger, Naquan, Mistfall Hunter. Okay, that's crazy. You got, yo, there's no way you just said Mistfall Hunter is gonna be worse than Naquan. That's actually unhinged. That's crazy. That's legitimately insane. I can't believe you said that. Don't get me wrong, Naquan was fun, but the PvP in Naquan was not good. Like, they're gonna need some serious work to the game. Like, to call it better than Mistfall, that's like, I don't know, man. Seeing a fighter. He almost got me, actually. It was pretty close. It was aggressive. If you're trolling, you think Mistfall's better than Naquan? Okay, I was gonna say, that would be legitimately crazy if you thought that was true. Naquan's PvP just isn't good enough for me to rate it, like, super highly. It has to improve. It has to. Now, I will tell you straight up, though. Wait, so YOLO, have you played Hunger? Like, have you played the playtest yet? I'm assuming you have. Wow, this guy almost killed me in, like, whites. It's actually kind of crazy. Poor wizard, man. It's fine. No problem. No problem at all. You played in the private test? Okay, so we both... Okay, so you've played it as well. Yeah, I have too. Yeah, no, YOLO, I think Hunger is very solid. Legitimately, Hunger and Mistfall both have a very big potential of blowing up this year. It's very, very good. Icy spells beat you to death with flaming stick and fireballs. Well, it's a play on words. It's like I-C spells, like I-S-E-E. Get it? Haha. Get it? Yeah. Dumb joke. Something. No, Hunger is very good. Wait, Lich, do you not like Hunger? Have you played the playtest or anything? We talked about it a little bit, I think. I forget what you said about it, though. Oh, 3 decks, that's Abyss. That's actually probably good money, funny enough. Max roll blue. High value. You don't like the combat in Hunger? What do you not like about it? Yeah, what specifically do you dislike? Is it just the, like, I feel like guns are more of a, it's not like, guns are kind of secondary. Or, maybe not secondary is the word. I feel like melee and guns are both primaries. Maybe that's the way to put it. I don't know, I feel like that's fine. It doesn't feel like melee is overshadowed by range unless I'm mistaken. I guess it's possible I am. Correct me if I'm wrong. Endgame melee is better than range. Yeah, so like I was gonna say my understanding is that range is very, very viable in Hunger. So I don't think like there's a worry of Hunger being unplayable by the Dark and Darker players because it's gonna be melee focused too. It's like it's both. You did not realize the play on words? Yeah, that was the whole point of this character. That was the whole point of the name, yeah. Like a funny little play on words. Alright, Xylophone. Have a good night, man. I will catch you later. Yeah, don't worry. I will be back. Wait, you know what? I should go find this dude that's killing everybody. Yeah, I'll be back streaming again on, like, in about 6 days or whatever. Yeah, my streaming will get pretty consistent here pretty soon. Blocking bullets, charging attack runs, denying 1 bullet, close range damage. Yeah, it seems like melee is going to be viable in Hunger, which I definitely like. What other games do I play? I've been playing State of Decay 2, Pokemon Fire Red, Hunger, and Mistfall off stream a little bit over like the last week. To be honest, though, I'm really just in, like, you know, waiting room mode for these other extractions and just passing time. Yeah, I'm looking forward to State of Decay 3 as well, Yola. Yeah, that game's gonna be... I'm very much looking forward to it. I wish it wasn't next year, but, yeah. Yeah, I might end up streaming that as well. Who knows what I'll be doing next year, though. I was playing StarCraft? I was playing StarCraft. Yeah, that's true, I was. How did you know? Did it say it on my profile or something? What, did my Discord rat me out or something? Mistfall's not, it's not an open beta yet. It was like a creator thing to test out the game. Yeah, it'll be open on the 14th. Yeah, State of Decay 2's biggest problem was that the multiplayer was straight ass. So it seems like the third game has improved it quite a lot. Oh, wait. There's probably someone down there. Oh. That dude has probably like 60% magic resistance or some shit. So many goddamn mobs here. That guy probably has so much damn MR, man. Dude ate so many hits, it's actually insane. Yeah, just ignore that. Where did he go? Is it good? Mistfall and Hunger are both good, yes, from what I can tell. I have to kill this. I guess I'll kill this. I don't know where it went. Yeah, that Warlock was eating like a champ. PoE didn't really draw me too much, honestly. ARPGs have fallen off for me over time. It's okay, but nothing I can really sink a lot of time into. I don't know where the Warlock went. Oh my god, he's still down here. Wow. Yeah, he just hard counters me, huh? That dude, yeah, that dude probably has so much MDR. That's crazy. Yeah, he's running 60% resistance. I basically can't win that. This is like a hard counter to me. That's unfortunate. That's tough, man. The wizard hard counter. No, he's not gonna die to me. He's not gonna die with 60% magic resistance. That is like an actual hard counter. I can't reasonably beat that. I mean, I guess I got him kind of close considering, but he's supposed to win that every time. I'm not really supposed to ever win that there. It's a problem with stats in this game, and part of why Solas is so imbalanced as well. Gear does too much in this game. I've been saying it for a while. Gear legitimately is just way too strong here. The way that, like, stuff works, it doesn't even make sense. Although, I guess for Warlock, it's actually their perk, not their gear. Anti-magic is too much of a counter against magic classes. It doesn't even make sense. You should never give a class away to just straight hard counter another class. It doesn't, like, work. At least it doesn't work for solos, that's for damn sure. Yeah, Warlock is, like, almost impossible to kill as a wizard. It's very unfun. Yeah, as a Warlock, if you get 60 to 65 MDR, you just kill mages for free. It's, like, really silly. It's not even fun for anyone involved. Well, I guess it's fun for the Warlocks because they get the free kill mages, but that's about it. Yeah, if you play High Roller in gear as a wizard and you run into, like, a high... and you just run into a Warlock period, like, they're just gonna kill you. Unless you somehow outplay them. You're not supposed to win, though. Yeah, it kind of just is what it is. It's a hard counter. Welcome to Dark and Darker. Yeah, that's one thing I'm looking forward to in Hunger. Gear is not going to be as impactful. So it's not gonna like the end game draw of Hunger is not gonna be just gear. It's gonna be gear like and progressing your character rather than Dark and Darker being only progressing gear, because that's the only like stat, like that's the only thing you progress in this game, which I think will be kind of nice. I always thought it was stupid that you can just straight hard counter other classes just based on like what you're building. I always thought that was very silly. Mistfall Hunter already has a way to counteract that too. It's not like Dark and Darker can't balance it, it's just that they choose not to. Because Mistfall Hunter has perks and skills that will be changed depending on if you're playing like solo or trio. So Mistfall Hunter is already fixing that solo problem. It's just that Dark and Darker is very, very behind on like everything quality of life wise. So I mean I hit him with a bunch of spells though. I hit him with I think a zap and like multiple splash fireballs too. Also, I can't hit him with a zap or explosion when he's camping a giant pillar. Not like really possible. I mean, how am I supposed to hit him with a zap there? He just keeps running around that pillar. I mean, it's not really feasible for me to do it. But I mean, as a wizard, if I get multiple splash fireball hits, like, reasonably, like, that should be enough to kill someone. If he wasn't at 60% MDR, it would have been enough. It's just that warlocks have a insane advantage on wizards. Check the creator announcements for the new update and client. Yeah, I'll give it a look, Lich, for sure. I'm not gonna be on stream for too long. I don't really plan to stream too much more Dark and Darker. This might actually be my last ad stream for a while, unless I decide to stream it. I guess I have to like wait for Mistfall to come back in late July, so I guess I shouldn't say that, but it most likely will be, at least for the most part. Also, I just realized, why is he using a buckler? This guy was throwing. Buckler is so bad. Why would you ever use this over a lantern? That's so silly. Doesn't even make sense. It's like minus 13 movement speed right there. In a meta where speed is literally everything. That's insane. I actually have no idea why he's running that. I should have traded that out for a lantern. Dude's throwing. Maybe that's why I killed him. I don't know. I would take it off, but honestly, it might actually be better than having nothing. Or it might be better to have nothing than having this buckler. Yeah, maybe if it had like -7 speed or something like that, but there really is just no reason to kill mobs, is there? No, no wonder I'm the sucker. killing mobs. Like, you can just effortlessly run past everything. You don't actually have to, like, you don't have to kill a thing. No reason to. Just run past it all. So silly. Oh god, is this, does he have, if he has Forceful Shot, I actually, like, don't think I can physically kill him. Yeah, core meta. Yeah, so this is, like, a good reason of why Buckler is terrible. You need the movement speed. I need a lantern, not this Buckler. Yeah, you can't actually chase Rangers. Door meta is too strong, so he'll just keep running and shutting doors. It's another one of those, like, very, like, stupid matchups. He'll just run forever, pretty much. I look like Kriparian? You mean the Hearthstone streamer? Or the ex-Hearthstone streamer? I used to watch his content back in the day. Yeah, you're also not the first person who's told me that. I've probably heard that, like, probably 24 times over the last few years. Funny enough. He is still there. The Rangers are actually so terrible. They're so unfun. He's still sitting there. Oh goodness gracious. Yeah, this will be a 10-minute fight. It'll be me sitting here waiting for him to actually do something. Yeah, I'm still gaming Molly, yeah. I've been just waiting for Mistfall. So. This Ranger's just gonna sit there all game, isn't he? Wow, he is actually still there. That's insane. Okay, well. See, if I was off stream, I'd probably pull up, like, YouTube or something and just watch it while I wait for him to do something. Not much else I can really do. I've been doing invisibility cleric tech for 3 years. Yeah, I've been doing that for a long time. It does work pretty well. Yeah, I just have to wait for the Ranger to stop sitting there, so. Because if I push him, he'll just run to another door and shut it, so. It's my only real play. So wait for him. Yeah, this is a spot where if I was not streaming, yeah, I would just alt tab and just like watch YouTube or play some like other game on my side monitor while I wait for this Ranger to come over. Oh yeah, extraction camping in Legacy was like super big too, right? Because there was you only got access to what one extraction point, right? Or I guess two, one on each side. So you could basically extraction camp forever, with like no risk too, because you could just take the extraction whenever you wanted. Oh my god, look! Oh, he got scared. He got scared. I'm about to fall asleep. This is actually crazy. Oh my god. I hope you guys are having fun. This is peak Dark and Darker gameplay. Door in, door. What are you gonna do? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. This is actually crazy. I remember when I said it was a 10-minute fight? It's been 4 minutes already. Just saying. What's even funnier is I don't know how he even knows I'm here. I haven't moved in 3 minutes. But yet somehow he, like, knows I'm in this dark corner, like I'm still sitting here 4 minutes later. That's crazy. If I was that ranger, I would never assume that a guy would be patient enough to sit here like this. That's actually crazy that he's, like, still playing like this. Like, any other... I would usually run the other direction and not deal with it. I just, like, wanted to fight him. Yeah, I don't even know, man. I don't know where he went, but I can't believe that's actually crazy. I can't believe he it's crazy. Alright, all I have to do is get to him before he closes the door. Oh, here it is. Ready? Oh, and he's invincible. Alright, well, good game. Good game, Ranger. He has doors. Can't compete with doors, so. Too powerful. Door in door, man. Alive and well. Truly a Ranger moment. I think that's a Dark and Darker moment for sure. Any class can do what he just did. Yeah, that's definitely Dark and Darker in a nutshell right there. Camp at a door for 5 minutes, eventually try to chase him, then he shuts another door and rinse it. Oh, hey look, it's the other Dark and Darker moment. The Invis Rogue sitting there waiting to kill me for free. Luckily, I didn't run into him, but if I did, I would have been dead. That's all. That's another fun thing. That's another fun thing. Alright. So we have the Invis Landmine Rogue, and then we have the Ranger that runs away and shuts doors in my face. Alright. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh, oh! Oh man, he got the door. Man. This is actually so funny. Oh my god. He's also camping another door, by the way. Just misses every shot and then runs and shuts the door. Oh my god. I don't know, man. I don't know how people I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. I don't know how people enjoy this gameplay. I have no idea. That's actually insane. Oh. Alright, well, that was fun. Oh my god, man. I have no idea how you can do this all game, like, as a Ranger player. I honestly, like, I don't know how you can do this and not, like, get bored out of your mind. It's crazy. I mean, he has been doing this all game. Like, it's... And, like, notice he's still camping doors, too. Like, he's still ready for me to, like, show up and then use those doors to instantly close them and run away again. I don't know, man. This is crazy. Oh, it's not my build, Evan. I just killed a cleric for it. So I don't really have much to show, because it's not my kit. But, he went for agility. So his kit is 306 speed, which is pretty solid. But yeah, I didn't actually build this. Yeah, I was playing Wizard for a while, but I got countered by a Wardlock, so unfortunately. Hey Burst, 6 days is Mistfall Hunter. I'll be here to stream that game throughout its beta. I'll probably be live pretty much every day during Mistfall's beta, as far as I'm aware. At least I'm trying to be. Sounds good. It does. Yeah, whenever I play Barb, I started to take Crush because if you don't get to play the game. Doors are it's a complete anti-mechanic. Like, you can't actually play around them. It is entirely in the favor of whoever is closing the door, not opening. So yeah, you don't really get to play unless you have Crush. Now, if you do have Crush on Barb, it's pretty good, but, like, that's the exception. Honestly, I think one of the better, or not better, the more fun builds you can do as Barb is do, like, a Crush Hatchet build. And then use the Hatchet to just run players down. Actually works out, like, surprisingly well, honestly. Well, that's kind of the problem, Misril. The problem is that Dark and Darker has designed themselves in a corner to having the door mechanics work the way they do. Like, the door mechanic itself is a problem, and it's always been a problem. I made a video on it months ago. Mistfall Hunter solves the door problem by having the door... I think it's a long interaction time, both ways, so you can't just, like, insta-close stuff. So, Mistfall should not have any kind of, like, door meta, as far as I'm aware, which will be nice. You also, in Mistfall, you have to actually clear mobs. You can't just beeline it through modules, because I think the door opening is long enough that you can't just, like, cheese mobs for the most part. You might be able to sometimes, but between the opening and the closing time, I think it's a lot harder to do. I think Hatchet is better than Horseman with Lantern, personally. I think the Hatchet is just a better overall weapon. It's not good. It just works better, I think. Yeah, I think during one of Mistfall's old playtests, they had keys, and the keys were being abused. They were bringing like 20 of them, and they could insta open and shut doors. Basically, door meta, Dark and Darker, but in Mistfall. I think the key got removed from the game, though. At least I hope it did, because that shit was, like, really stupid. It was really, really imbalanced. Oh, but, Evan, just so you know, as far as cleric builds go, I always build them about the same. Basically, you just want to make sure you're going for movement speed, action speed. I like to go for around 35 PDR. This guy's actually lacking it a decent bit. I think that's a little bit low, but, you know, it's kind of whatever. But yeah, I usually go for like 35 total, because that'll put you at the total armor gap. Alright, fellas. It's kind of late. This was only meant to be a short stream. So thank you all for stopping by tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed the little stream and discussion we had. I will be back next week for Mistfall in 6 days. So I will see you guys then. And yeah, have a good night, everybody. Peace.